had made a mistake in the associations, and I had to fix that. Hey, good afternoon, Wendy. At least it's afternoon here in Northern Virginia. It's currently snowing. 2 weeks ago, we had 14 inches. They're expecting 2 to 4 tonight, with then sleet, then freezing rain, and then possibly sleet and snow in the morning again. So we're very, very fortunate to have so much snow, because we usually haven't gotten that much snow over the years. But you're safe and sound and happy and warm in Southern California. So when you finally finish viewing this, go out and do your 5K in the nice sunshine. Anyway, this briefing that I want to give to you is about how I think that we can increase our footprint in Northern Virginia. I'm going to talk a little bit about the association's membership. I'll talk about housing prices, how we started, and then some pathways that I think to gain a greater foothold and really expand here in Northern Virginia, and why. So anyway, so these are all the associations in Virginia. You can see there's a great amount of them. The ones we're going to be talking about are in the upper, the center. If you come straight up the center of Virginia, up at the top, the northernmost associations, which comprise the Northern Virginia or NOVA, all their associations. Okay, and there are 6 of them. So when you look at this, the number of realtors that are in Virginia is about 36,000, a little over 36,500. The number of realtors in those 6 associations is almost 18,000 realtors. Okay, so a little over 49% of all the realtors in Virginia are in 6 associations. The rest are scattered throughout all those other associations. The next largest association, I believe, is Richmond, and then also down in Hampton Roads. And they don't compare to one of the other ones that I'm going to be talking about, which is Northern Virginia Association of Realtors. So you can see that almost half the realtors in Virginia are here in those 6 associations. And those 6 associations are Northern Virginia Association of Realtors, which you see there, which is Fairfax County, the cities of Falls Church, the city of Fairfax, Arlington, and Alexandria. Those comprise Northern Virginia Association of Realtors, and people can join and be members of all different ones, but that's the center part of it. Prince William Association of Realtors, which is just south of there, which is sort of long and narrow, that's my main association. By the way, I belong to all these associations because I have members in all of them, or I teach. The one I don't have a member is Blue Ridge, but I do teach there a lot. So the next one is PWAR, Prince William Association of Realtors, with almost 2,000 agents. Next is Fredericksburg with almost 1,800 agents, and that's the one that's directly south of Prince William. Okay, and that comprises Stafford, Fredericksburg, and Spotsylvania counties. And by the way, Prince William Association of Realtors, a number of our realtors also live in Stafford and belong to Prince William, because the preponderance of the business is Stafford, Prince William, and North. Dulles is out towards Leesburg in the Dulles area. Dulles International Airport. They have a little over 12. Greater Piedmont, which is where our Warrenton office is, has 650. And then Blue Ridge, where we don't have any members yet, but I'm actually courting a couple, has almost 550. So 18,000 realtors out of over 36,000 realtors are in those 6 associations. So what does that comprise of? So in my area, which essentially is Prince William, Greater Piedmont, NVA, Northern Virginia Association of Realtors, and Dulles Association of Realtors, I cover 1,332 square miles of real estate. If you look at the Fredericksburg Association of Realtors, that's about 702 square miles. So even though Gale has that within my purview where my agents work, because agents work all over that area. I have agents in my office that are in Prince William that go out and deal in Winchester, which is in the Blue Ridge Association. I have agents that are in Alexandria that come down and occasionally do work in Prince William. So it's not unusual for agents to work that whole area no matter where their association is. So that total area is over 2,000 square miles of coverage. Okay, So you're figuring 2,000 square miles and 18,000 realtors. So we should be doing better in recruiting. And I know that part of that's on me, but I want to put some things in proportion for you. All right. So again, let's take a look at proportional membership. If you look at total Northern Virginia, again, just to give you an idea this, as far as a bar graph is concerned. Okay. So what are the commonalities with these six associations? Okay. All six of the associations cooperate with each other. The education directors know each other and talk back and forth. The executives do all that. And again, like I said, it's not unusual to have an agent from Prince William sell out in Warrenton or up in Ashburn or even as far out as Winchester. It's not unusual to have an agent that is in Fairfax County under NVAR work in Dulles or things along these lines. And you'll see one of the particulars that I'll describe about a couple of the associations. We all have the same MLS. We are all under Bright MLS. And Bright MLS, as I'm sure you know, covers Northern Virginia, all of Maryland, DC, Delaware, Jersey, and part of Pennsylvania. So we all, both the DC offices, the DC and Maryland offices, and the Northern Virginia offices, all use Bright MLS. So we have a common MLS. That is completely different than the rest of Virginia. There is some confusion when we go to live by, and they'll say, well, Stafford is covered by Central Virginia MLS. No, it's not. They have rights to it, but they do not cover it. It's Bright MLS as far south as Orange County. Okay. We are all on the same lockbox and lockbox key. And again, it's the same lockbox as they have in DC and Maryland. Permissions can change, but it's the same. The six Northern Virginia associations all are on the same lockbox with the same lockbox key, which is different than the rest of Virginia. We use the same forms. We have, as a matter of fact, we've just done a form change. And there are representatives from all six of those associations on the forms committee that create the forms that we routinely use. We do not use what the forms that the rest of the state mostly uses, which is the Virginia Realtors forms. And because of that, there is, when it comes down to the rest of the state, we do things differently. Gail, as I said here, so Gail says we do things odd here. I can't help it. That's the way we do things. Our agency agreements are a little different. Our contract is completely different. There's so many differences. One of the main ones is that in the Virginia Realtors and the rest of the state, for settlement, they say on or about, giving a date of on or about. Our contract says on or before. So for the rest of the state, if your settlement's supposed to be Friday, you don't get it done, well, we get it done Monday or Tuesday, that's great. Here, it's supposed to be Friday, it's not done Friday, everybody's out of contract. So there are nuances with that. And again, Gail says we do things crazy. Here's something that I've presented for a while, and that is that one of the things that you'll see when I talk about this is that the Northern Virginia Association of Realtors and Dulles, and I'll talk about this in a second, look at the rest of us as different. So as we stand in Occoquan and look across the Occoquan River, we look into Fairfax County with the Occoquan River. When people look in Fairfax, looking across to Prince William and Occoquan, it's the Occoquan Ocean. It is not normal that people in the Northern Virginia and Dulles area equate themselves equally with the rest of us. So, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But one of the things that I've heard for years is no, all markets are the same, all realtors are the same. I can tell you, if you take a poll of agents in our area, it ain't the truth. We are different than the rest of the state, and there are differences within our region as well. All the areas are not the same. All the agents are not the same. There are definitely regional perceptions even up here. Members of NVAR and Dulles Association of Realtors, DAAR, view other associations as outside their market. And the reason being is, even though we're in it and they do business, you'll see that the vast majority of higher priced homes are in those two associations. Many of the times, Realtors that live in Arlington and Alexandria and other parts of Fairfax and the Dulles area refer their business out because why would they come down here for a $600,000 house? Okay. And it is normal for agents living in Prince William and Warrenton and in areas like this in Stafford to associate with brokerages and offices and associations north. It is very rare for people to associate south. Now, I'm very fortunate that I've been able to do some recruiting and have a number of people in the NVAR and DAR area. As a matter of fact, I just recruited one, she's a great agent. And you'll see why I did some marketing when we created my office here in a minute. But I'm sure that there are regional differences even there in California where you are. Within the Los Angeles or San Diego band, okay, there are definitely associations or areas look down on others or don't see them as equal. I'm sure it's the same in North Carolina, and I know it's the same in Texas, okay, when you look at even the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The reason when we established my office, it was originally going to be Prince William. I asked and begged and got them to do Prince William Fairfax so that the Fairfax was attached to the office because agents would very, very, very much be unlikely to move to an association or an office in Prince William if they were in Arlington or Alexandria or any place along these lines. Okay. The other reason, and you're going to scoff at this, but you're free to ask anybody up in this area, any of the agents. If the office was located in Woodbridge, which is referred to, especially even inside Woodbridge area, as Hoodbridge, but definitely outside, we would not have the agents that we have. Occoquan is a palatable location because it is a quaint, nice little town that's a specialty. Okay. I don't know anything is similar to that and where you are in California or any place else, but Occoquan is viewed as like a neutral. Okay. Because their office is in Occoquan, that's more acceptable than, oh my God, Woodbridge. Okay. And God forbid it's Dumfries. Okay. But that's the reason why I pushed the office to be Prince William Fairfax. So what was our Virginia start? Our Virginia start was that the Straleys were based in Stafford, Virginia, which is actually the county where I now live in. And it's the county just south of Prince William and just north of Fredericksburg. So when they established the office, they were members of Prince William Association of Realtors and Fredericksburg Association of Realtors. Okay. When they went to expand, they didn't expand north. They expanded south and went to Fredericksburg. Okay. And so, when it came down to it, that's the fifth basically place, okay, that they were looking at. When they moved again, when they expanded and my office came into being, we were an acceptable location for the rest of Northern Virginia because it was Occoquan. And I also had ties and I were able to bring some people in. But again, it was more palatable to not only the Nova agents, but Maryland and DC agents. So the problem was that we went in the wrong direction. We went south and then we went west to Warrenton. I started, to give you an idea, when I started, I had 10 agents. Right now, I have 80. That was December 27th. Right now, I have actually probably about 84, all right? And I might have more. I probably have about 4 or 5. This says 10 because I did it at the beginning of the year, but I wanted to go through this a little bit more. At the time that I did this, 10, and I may have 10 in the pipeline. Many of them, though, are still from the Prince William area. So what is the implication? The implication of how we started business was that the 3 current offices, Prince William Fairfax in Occoquan, Virginia, based in Prince William Association of Realtors, Fredericksburg, which is under Fredericksburg Area Association of Realtors, and the Warrenton office, which is in Greater Piedmont Association of Realtors, only carries that total area 25% of the agents in Northern Virginia. In addition, it has the 2 lowest priced areas in Northern Virginia. We have ignored the 800-pound gorilla in the room for agents, which is NVAR, with 11,000 agents. Okay. We have ignored the top 4 housing areas in Northern Virginia: Arlington, Alexandria, Fairfax area, and Dulles. Okay. So the greatest concentration of our agents is not where there's the greatest concentration of agents locally or price or even population. We have fewer signs, fewer deals, and no name recognition. The number of times that I talk to people and they say, yeah, it's, it's Phantom Realty. No, it's Fathom Realty. No, but I know Phantom Realty. I've heard about that. Isn't that one of those new brokerages where it's virtual? No, that's us, Fathom Realty. Really? I thought it was Phantom Realty. There's no name recognition. And that is a problem. That is a problem with growth. So let's take a look at where Fathom becomes valuable to agents, even more so when we look at price. So if we look at Fairfax, Arlington, Alexandria, Prince William, when I say Fairfax Plus, because there are two cities in there. When I say Prince William Plus, there are 2 cities there within Prince William: Loudoun, then Stafford, Fredericksburg, and Spotsylvania, and Fauquier. If you can take a look and you see what the prices are like. In Fairfax, let's go a 4-bedroom, average price for a 4-bedroom home, detached home, or townhome in Fairfax is $972,000. In Arlington, it's 1.3 million, and in Alexandria, it's 1.2 million. Prince William, it's 600,000. Loudoun, it's almost 850 million. And then Stafford, Fredericksburg, Spotsy is 511. And then Fauquier, which is way out in the country, but it's horse country, and there are a lot of people that have a lot of money that live out there, it's 731,000. Now, one of the problems I will tell you with Fauquier, with our agents, I'll address later on. But I didn't put prices in Blue Ridge Association Realtors because I don't have any current agents. We do business. A number of the agents do business out there, but it's not a great deal. In addition, I'm having a problem with Live By because Live By is saying that Warrenton and Prince William and Fredericksburg and Stafford are all under Central Virginia multiple listing as well as Bright MLS. And it's not, it's only under Bright. So some of the information that you may pull up and Live By is going to be off possibly. All right. And so here's another graph. This is the tribute to Marco because Marco loves graphs. I put this in. And these are bar graphs giving the price of the homes in all those locations. So where's our growth opportunity? We have to fish where the fish are. I know that's a cliche, but in this case, it's very, very true. 75% of my agents are unrepresented as far as, when we come down to looking, 75 of the agents in general, not my agents, the agents in general are unrepresented. Out of my 80 agents when this was done, 32 were in Northern Virginia or the Dulles area. Okay. And so to me, that's a high percentage when we look at, being well known. And it's a tribute to the way we do business and things like this. So again, take a look at the table of agents, where the preponderance of agents are, where we can recruit, and take a look at the prices. The higher the prices, the greater the commission, the more the agent saves. An agent is going to save a lot of money when they're selling a house in Prince William County. But on a $1.3 million property, just think of the amount of money that they're making, okay, and that they're saving as opposed to conventional brokerages, okay? Agents are going to be apt to see that massive significance. And it's one of the things that I've been able to point out to a couple of people I'm actually trying to work with. The greatest detriment I see is the fact that, again, Samson Properties has a very strong foothold because they're very similar to us with a number of different offices. Now, nobody uses the freaking offices. And again, you can talk to Marco, and you and Marco have talked about the RESPA situation, but Samson is our main competitor. And I know you and I talked a little bit about that. If we have more of a presence and we gain more of a foothold in the Northern Virginia Association of Realtors arena, then we'll probably be able to get more Maryland and DC agents because they'll have a place that's more suitable to their business. They'll be more willing to go and work for Nick in DC if there's a better presence in the actual Northern Virginia area. And by the way, Prince William and Stafford and everything, we conveniently are members of Northern Virginia when it benefits them, and way away, oh, we're not part of Northern Virginia when it doesn't. So what's the competition up here? The first is EXP, and they're continuing to push the recruiting. In fact, I've lost two agents that were with Keller Williams that swore they were never going to leave Keller Williams, and they went to EXP. Why did they go to EXP? According to one of them, Mark, you do great here. You ought to come here with all the recruiting bonuses and the residual income. And I tried to talk to him. Now I'm going still touching base with both of them, but that's the point. A number of months ago, I asked about using the information on EXP that we got during a DD meeting to help with recruiting, and I was told by Sam that we couldn't use that. It was an ethics violation. I don't know. I think if we can do that comparison, I think that will help. Samson Properties, again, Marco knows about this and has talked about this, and they are beating my brains out. Okay, they're beating my brains out because they're recruiting and recruiting and recruiting. They have a number of different open houses and seminars and things like this for agents. Okay, they're pushing perks, and their perks is we can do flyers for you, we can do headshots, etc. And some agents just grasp onto that. I have no intention of pushing that. I think that's ridiculous. But they have similar fees, they have major name recognition, and they're gaining credibility because of the caliber of agents that they are recruiting. Okay, so with that in mind, okay, what I'm trying to do is create some possible geographic differences and philosophical differences with our competition. The geographic difference with EXP is the fact that they only have really one location out of the Dulles area in Ashburn, and there's not really a broker available to them. The philosophical difference is how we go about business and the our push to be involved in the community, etc. Things like this. Okay, so here's how I think that we can grow. One of the things that I've used that I did a number of years ago are some marketing videos, which I sent them down to Jeff. He or Paul, I can't remember. They did it, and now they're being shown. Originally, what was being shown on internet and on games and Facebook, etc., were from North Carolina and Texas. Nobody up here cares about North Carolina and Texas. Unfortunately, there are many brokers and realtors that walk around with their nose up in the air. And why would we care about what's going on down in those 6 states? Well, we have to be local. Okay, the agents up here for recruiting want local, not national. Okay, so we're using some old videos of mine. What I think we probably need to do is get some tailored scripted marketing videos using the agents that are in my office, both my offices, and in Fredericksburg. Okay, that's important. I'm going to need some support, and I know I can get it through some of the sponsor as far as Verus Title. But again, what agents, and you're going to say, well, that's not true. It is true. I know my market. I know my competition. I know my peers. People routinely are not calling 800 numbers. We abhor when they call NFCU or USAA or Rocket Mortgage or something like that, the 800 number. That has a very big stigma. So I'm actually working to get a loan officer or two. But I know that we can get some help from Verus. But we need some seminars, both in person and hybrid, to be able to do things along these lines. It would be great, and I'm actually working on an insurance guy to come over to Dagley, who's an independent guy like Dagley, and have him come in. But I need to be able to put some of these on. I cannot foot that bill all myself, and I cannot expect Verus to foot that bill all by themselves. We need to do that and create some name recognition. Again, like Phantom Realty. Everybody says phantom realty. I can't tell you the number of friends of mine that the first time I told them or we're talking, they go, yeah, phantom. I've never heard of them before. That's because they don't exist. They're a phantom realty. Um, on the website, one of the things that I'm looking at is the website for agents in the Prince William Fairfax office in Warrenton. We have, when it comes down, we're not on the hottest markets. But let me tell you, this area should be on the quote unquote hottest markets when you come on to Fathom Realty. If an agent from Northern Virginia goes on to Fathom Realty and goes to hottest markets, and it's East Chippewa, Kansas, and Tulsa, Oklahoma, they don't care. They're and that we're one of the fastest markets in the air in the nation here. Again, what we have to deal with is some internet spots and emails. We have to really be able to drive home the commission difference. Health insurance is very expensive up here. Yes, there are a lot of people that are retired military or retired government, or their family is their spouse is in government, so they have health insurance. But there is a crap load of people, and I've cleaned that up for you, of people that need health insurance. And that really needs to be pushed and drawn in. This is a bastion of technology. All the data centers, everything. Prince William is fighting to have more data centers. Dulles has all these data centers. This is a bastion of technology. We ought to be really pushing in a good blitz about technology and being able to work and all the different technology that we offer to the agents. We also have to reimagine the Northern Virginia districts. Now, I'm going to get called on the carpet, I'm sure, by somebody who says this is a power grab. It's not, okay? What I want to do is I want Fathom to grow. I don't want to hear phantom realty anymore. I'm tired of it. I had it up to here with that. I want people to know Fathom Realty. So we have to reimagine the Nova districts. Warrenton and Fredericksburg are stalled. One of the problems with Warrenton is that so much of that area does not have high-speed internet in the Fauquier and Culpeper area. Much of it is rural. And so their option is dial-up, satellite, or nothing. I have agents that come to the Warrenton office, which is in the Greater Piedmont Realtors building, to use internet. Okay. So Warrenton is stalled. Not that we shouldn't stay there, but that's a problem. Fredericksburg is not growing, and part of it is because of lack of local leadership. Okay. I have lost agents who I was trying to bring into the Fredericksburg office. One has a team and she does 50 transactions a year. When she found out that I wasn't going to be their broker, she was like, okay, well, what do you mean the broker isn't even local? She said, I'm done. I'm not, maybe next year. Okay. I've had other agents do the same. If you talk to Ben Antikoviak has lost people for that same reason. Okay. So what do I propose? I propose that you do a Nova South district with me as the DD. There's going to be strength because, we'll have the second and third largest associations, Prince William and Fredericksburg combined. There's local crossover recruiting between all that. Because like I said, you have people in Fredericksburg that do business up here and vice versa. Okay. And keep the office in Occoquan. Okay. Keep the office in Occoquan. It'll also cut expenses because now you won't have a Regis office in Fredericksburg. Okay. It's going to be a problem with Warrenton because people use that on occasion for internet. I have two agents that routinely work out of there. They're actually paying for the internet so that they can work out of that office, and we can figure out how to do that. But I'm going to tell you, with doing that, we'll still maintain almost all, if not all of, the Fredericksburg agents, and we'll definitely keep the Warrenton agents. How to grow part 3. Create 1 to 2 new districts. Nova West, okay? 32 of my agents right now in my Prince William Fairfax office are Nova DC and Maryland agents, which means that they are in the Dulles area or Northern Virginia Association of Realtors. That's where they belong, or are Maryland or DC agents, or both. Right now I have 12. It says 11, but I just brought another one on yesterday. Current Western Nova agents, Loudon agents out of those 32. And I'm speaking to more, at least 8 right now. The primary office should be in Kingstown. And you go, well, wait a minute, that's pretty close to Occoquan. Well, I've shown you the difference, okay? And you can, I'm sure that you see offices, and they're not really offices because you don't have to have that in Texas, but there are areas. You go, well, there's hundreds and hundreds of that. I know there are hundreds and hundreds of agents. Wouldn't you like to have that here? But the first place which should be Kingstown. There's a Regis office in Kingstown, and it's right by Keller Williams, Long and Foster, Caldwell Banker, and the world's largest Century 21 franchise, Century 21 New Millennium. Okay. And it will, again, it's right there in the heart of the top three markets. The next, and Kingstown is 13 miles from me, from the office in Occoquan. It's 13 miles. So it's not like it's close by. Okay. Especially when you're dealing with traffic, because people going from Alexandria to Occoquan, even or Kingstown to Occoquan, 13 miles, could easily take them an hour and a half, depending on traffic and how things go with the bridges, etc. The next is Herndon, which again can be a secondary start. That's 25 miles from Occoquan and about 20 miles from Kingstown. I have a lesser number of agents, and some of them are not as productive, but they are a base. And right now, I'm recruiting 3 top producers. One just came with me. Okay, and again, this is where the major brokerages are. You have brokerages, Samson Realty. You have Caldwell Banker, Century 21 New Millennium has 3 offices in that area. Okay, so again, fish where the fish are, and the location name is important. Somebody from Ashburn is not necessarily going to join an office in Kingstown. Okay, they can temporarily, but they'll be looking for other options. You go, well, wait a minute, we're virtual. There are no offices. I know, but in Virginia, there has to be a physical location. So name is important. This is the plan that I say. I'll be the DD for all the districts now, but I believe that we ought to open Nova Kingstown in the first quarter of this year. Okay, open it up. Open Nova West, which is Herndon, later in the third or fourth quarter. I believe that you will increase membership in the agents total by 100 to 150% by January of 2023. If it's 50%, it's a boost still. Okay. And basically what we're looking at is, if we do that, it's essential for explosive growth. And I'm sorry. So you need a new Nova DD in the third to fourth quarter of 2022. Not me, somebody whose principal association is Northern Virginia Association of Realtors. Okay. So you need to hire a DD in the third or fourth quarter to take both of these offices, or at least one, and run them with the name, etc., things like this. My recommendation would probably be to get somebody for Kingstown first, okay, and let them grow that area, because the principal office for NVAR is there in the eastern part of Fairfax County. They have a secondary in Herndon, okay, and I could keep Herndon for a while and let that grow. But that DD, or those DDs, have close ties to DAR and to NVAR, and they'll have broker involvement in both those associations, and I think it'll just expand. Okay. And then Nova South, again, that would be mine in the Prince William, Warrenton, Fredericksburg area. I would take that. I would keep that. And if you decide I'm not the guy, then you can replace me with that. All right. But that's what we need to do. Okay. So I appreciate your time, Wendy. Please share this as you see fit. I am open to discussion, whether it be Zoom, whether it be in person, whether it be on the phone, no matter what. And no, I have not run this by Gail. Okay. I have not done that. Okay. I want to come straight to you. So anyway, thank you very much, Wendy, and I'll talk to you later.